Sea of Thieves had a notoriously choppy launch. I'll be the first to admit it. I played for a few weeks back then and quickly lost interest. It was fun to set sail with some friends, but there just wasn't enough to do. After 2 years of continuous work from the developers at Rare, there's finally treasure here worth digging for. Here's a scenario. It's 3 a.m. Your two-person sloop is anchored at an outpost while you sell off the loot from a 5-hour voyage. Before you started, you raised the Gold Hoarder's emissary flag, and throughout the night, you worked to rank it up to level 5. Now every chest, trinket, and gem you sell is worth 2.5 times its normal value, but there's a catch. Sailing with an emissary flag puts a giant red X on your back. If another crew sinks your ship and steals your flag, they can sell it for a high price, and pirates who raise the new Reaper's Bones faction flag can even see you on their ship's map if they reach level 5 themselves. In an instant, the worst thing imaginable happens, and your triumphant turn-in becomes a fight for your life. Another player's sloop rounds the corner behind your boat. Adrenaline washes through your body like an icy tidal wave, but you saw them coming way too late. An enemy player has already boarded your ship with an explosive stronghold keg. They set it off as you hurl yourself from the deck. There's almost no way to recover from this. Your entire boat is on fire, the hull is punched through with holes, your mast is down, your steering wheel is broken, the capstan that raises your anchor is half broken, and the cannonballs being shot from the other boat are knocking you around so badly that it's hard to think. But somehow, you're still alive. You and your crewmate repair the mast, raise the anchor, put out the fires, and lower the sails, all while bailing water, hammering planks over the gouges in the hull, and using your trusty blunderbuss to fend off the other crew's continued attempts to board. By this time, your hands are violently shaking. You sail off and do the only thing you can. With the pursuing ship directly behind, you set your boat on a clear heading, jump off the back, and grab their ladders. You kill them both, and while they're waiting to respawn, you steer their boat onto some rocks, destroy their mast, lower their anchor, and throw enough firebombs to light the whole thing up. You catch a mermaid back to your boat. You did it. You lost them. The haul is yours, and once the adrenaline dissipates from your system, you're going to sleep soundly. Granted, hours later than you'd intended, and with vivid dreams of burning ships on a colorful sea, but still. Those kinds of interactions with other players have been Sea of Thieves' main draw since the game launched in 2018. But so many of the particulars of that tense encounter I just described were only possible because of the countless features, tools, and systems that the developers at Rare have added to the game in the 2 years since its release, most recently in the massive April 2020 update called Ships of Fortune. The fire that can spread across your boat is new, as are the ability to revive fallen teammates, the damage that can be caused to masts, the harpoons adorning every ship, the rowboats you can find around the world, adorable pets that cost real money but are totally worth it, a new area of the map, fishing and cooking systems, throwable grenades, new world encounters like skeleton fleets, tough challenges like the Fort of the Damned, and other small and large surprises waiting to be discovered on every new voyage. But it's the emissary flags that have really propelled Sea of Thieves into new waters. By incentivizing players in various subtle ways, the emissary system solved many of the problems that have plagued this game for years. The risk-reward equation is simple. The longer you sail as an emissary, the higher your multiplier when you finally sell your prizes. But the more attractive you are as a target for other players looking to secure a payout without doing the work themselves. It alleviates some of the game's intense grind by making it easier to earn money and rank up factions, speeding up the climb to coveted pirate legend status. It encourages players to seek one another out rather than avoid conflict. The long flapping emissary flags are highly visible, and a high-level emissary spied in the distance is a tempting prize to chase. On the other hand, the emissary system is completely optional. If you don't raise an emissary flag, you'll get a lower payout when you sell treasure at the end of your voyage, but you're also more likely to be left alone by other players. Sea of Thieves always had the foundation of something great. Even from its bare-bones launch, it was a blast to set sail with friends. There just wasn't much else to do, but Rare's gradually fixed that with consistent content drops that have added everything from story missions to a PvP arena mode. If you haven't played in a while, you're going to discover a ton of new things the next time you set sail. Granted, as the game's scope has continuously increased, Rare has clearly found it challenging to keep up with balance issues and bugs that have remained present for a long time. That journey I described at the beginning only stretched out to 5 grueling hours long because a server merge triggered a bug, as they usually do, that caused us to lose control of our ship, ultimately sinking it. That reset our emissary rank, and we had to spend hours climbing back up to rank 5 to get the best payout for the loot that we'd already worked to earn. The fact that we managed to get away is the only thing separating that story of triumph from an infuriating nightmare that probably would have made me take a break from the game for a few days. There are plenty of balance problems as well, like the fact that the blunderbuss's damage feels like it has more to do with your network ping than your aim. And nothing is more frustrating than losing hours worth of work, not because you were surprised or outmaneuvered by another player, or due to any mistake on your part, but because the game decided to spawn a kraken, a megalodon, and a skeleton ship simultaneously at your location, sometimes while you're also in a storm or with a deadly volcano erupting nearby. The more time you invest in Sea of Thieves, the more those instances seem to stack up, creating a laundry list in your mind of all the things Rare has failed to address or improve. And so much of this game is designed to keep you playing. The grind to hit Pirate Legend and unlock the coolest stuff is way too intense for most players. One problem that emerges at higher levels is the fact that short sessions become increasingly unrewarding, creating a need to play for long stretches without breaks. Literally, if you don't have around 4 hours to commit at a certain point, it's barely worth embarking at all. To compound that, the game regularly goes offline for maintenance and patch releases, but the only in-game notification about it appears just 15 minutes before the servers shut down, which is barely long enough to race to the nearest outpost and turn your stuff in. If you miss the official tweet or Reddit post about it, you're out of luck, and you're likely to feel like you wasted a bunch of time climbing emissary ranks, or fighting a lengthy sea battle when the shutdown arrives unexpectedly several hours into your session. On the other hand, no matter how high you climb, you'll never actually unlock any gun or ship or tool that's technically better than what everybody else already has. Every single unlockable in the game remains purely cosmetic to this day. What's the harm of some true stretch goals for the most dedicated pirates? Many players will never reach those heights, but unlike when Sea of Thieves launched, at this point there's no shortage of other things to do besides chase cosmetics. There's one other thing I feel I need to address. There's a subset of players who to this day think the game needs PvE servers where you can't be attacked by other players. But the danger of being dumpstered by any other crew at any other time is this game's beating heart. No matter how good you think you are, the possibility of crushing defeat is always lurking just behind the next wave. It just wouldn't be Sea of Thieves without that. Since the game's launch over 2 years ago, Rare has worked continuously to build on Sea of Thieves' strong framework, and the countless features and systems they've added have all enhanced that core undeniable truth. They still have work to do, and for some players it will never be enough, but there are open seas and clear skies ahead. For the current and future pirate legends out there, and even for the players who will never reach that level, but simply want to make some of their own tall tales out on the unforgiving waves, Sea of Thieves is finally a voyage worth embarking on.